Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. I want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments. I did channel some information for you for this week, but before I get to that, I would really like to ask you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, or better yet, leave me a comment. It helps me to connect my energy with yours, and I feel like you'll have a better reading. You'll get more out of it, but it helps me on my path to my goals of reaching more people, helping more people. Pretty much, I do this for free, you know. I do not. I have resisted the commercializations on it. So if you would just help me out, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so why is my throat getting all choked up on yours? Wow. That was like this huge lump in my throat that came out of frickin' nowhere. So are you guys struggling to say something? Okay, yeah, my nose is itching. So, yep. All right, so so two things. First, I did the numerology this week. I felt called to do numerology on the word Taurus. And it comes to a number 1, which is all about initiation. It's about starting things. And I thought, okay. So Tauruses are considered a fixed sign. And so I thought that was interesting. I started looking at across the zodiac sign from each of the signs, what was there. And so Scorpio's across the zodiac sign from Taurus, and it was change. And so I feel like they kind of work in opposition, initiation and change, and that's why there's this whole opposition. And maybe the art of being a Taurus. The reason you're here is to learn how to be willing to initiate things, to start things. You guys can manifest anything you want. You're great manifestors, but sometimes the process to get you to make it a change is a lot like trying to turn the 7th fleet around. So, all right, your overall energy for this month is you have present power. It was in the reverse, but I don't really like to read reverses when I try to do the monthlies unless I feel like it's in a significant position. And so in this one, I feel like this is about trying to move yourself to step into your power. I think this month is about stepping into your power. So, and I think that really makes sense considering what I channeled for you. So when I was channeling into your energy, when I was trying to figure out what was going on with you and I was feeling into it, I got this, I saw you come up against this fork in the road. So it was like you're in you're on a trail, and you came up to this area on the path where there's this huge boulder. And so it created a fork in the road. Like there was a fork, and I think the way you wanted to go was where the boulder was, and you couldn't, and you're looking at the other way because it was through the woods. And so you can't really see everything, and there's some unknown factors to it. And so I wondered, it felt like, I don't know. I mean, I can't move the boulder out of my path. I can't go around it. I can't go this way. I mean, I guess I could. Maybe I could scramble over. Maybe I could go around it, but I certainly can't move it out of my way. The other way looked easier to enter, but there were so many unknowns. And so you were standing there. And so then I was thinking, I was laughing. I'm like, well, there's initiation. Like, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Seems like when I was feeling into energy, it felt like many of you are going to decide to head for the woods. That boulder blocking the path feels so big and so heavy and so obstructive that it feels like a sign, like, okay, no, this isn't actually working for me anymore. So even though this is unknown, I'm going to go that way. Or I have to go that way even though there's so many unknowns. And it's not a very comfortable feeling for Taurus. They like to have everything all mapped out and know exactly where they're going. But it felt like many of you were going to head for the woods. So I thought that was it was kind of intense. It was kind of interesting. Okay, so stepping into your power, it's a thing to be doing. Oh, I'll stick this up here. All right, let's go ahead and get into, wow, this is funny because Aries had the same card. This is the key to their situation too, was the higher self. So if you have Aries strong in your chart, this has a lot to do with your month of Sagittarius here. With Sagittarius is November 22nd through December 20th. And so this is what the 9-card spread is. And the key to the situation is your higher self. What do you feel? What are you thinking? What do you feel? And so I think that making that decision when you're up against that choice, that fork in the road, listening to your higher self, listening to your gut intuition, listening to your heart, you're going to know which way to go. In the recent past, you were trying to achieve something. So we have this great achievement. It was in your area of thoughts. It's also in the area of trying to get more information. You're actually trying to achieve something. But how do you get there? What are you supposed to do? That was like trying to gather information. In the arena of how do you make the changes that you need to have, you have planning and action. Planning and action. We have a map. We have a destination. Wow. And all I see are the trees. Okay. Oh, look at this. In the outcome. In the outcome, you are headed toward a creative expression of yourself. Something that you really want to do. Something that would bring you that sense of creativity. Now, creativity can be lots of things. It could be creating a child. It could be creating a business. It could be creating an art project. It can be creating by rearranging your furniture or by planting a garden or decorating a tree. That's a creative thing, right? So there's all this creative energy. But there's an abundance of creative energy coming to you. But I think you have planning and action. That's how you're going to get there. You're going to have to get into the details. And thank goodness, on Wednesday this week, Mercury finally goes direct, making it a lot easier to start muddling our way through it. It's going to still take a couple of weeks before we get all that energy to clear out enough so that, the details flow a little easier. But I think you're going to find with the energy of Sagittarius is all about expansion and abundance. And so I think that you'll find the flow gets a lot easier because in the recent past, you have been struggling with a commitment. You have had a lot of doubts, a lot of concerns about some kind of a commitment that you've made that you thought would be great achievement. Oh, in the future, you have dark thoughts in the area of the heart space. You're at a fork in the road. I think you're very concerned about which way to go. You need to step into your power. Step into your power, whatever that means. I almost feel like that boulder almost represents the part where somebody is taking your power away from you, but going into the woods, even though you can't see where you're going, because I see him in the woods. He has stepped into the woods. He empowered himself. He said that boulder was, somebody was stifling you, keeping you down. Okay, so past. You can't do anything about the past, right? It's already happened, but we learn lessons from it. It's our teacher. It's our guide. It's the information that we use. And then in the present position here, in the present time, in the now moment, we get to choose every moment, our attitude and our response. Are we reacting or are we responding to a situation, right? It's every moment. Am I finding the joy in the situation or am I looking at it negatively? So in the present moment, trusting your gut instinct and seeking that sense of gratitude and the beauty in the current now moment increases your sense of happiness and satisfaction. Most people are unhappy because they have these unmet expectations. But these unmet expectations are based on a future that isn't even here. And so when you have these expectations of what you think something is going to be, how you think it's going to work out, and it doesn't go that way. So maybe you took a job that you don't like, or, you know, you bought a house, but it has all these problems and it's turned into a money pit. Or, you know, you got into a relationship that you made a commitment to and you're like, I don't know about this. Okay, so the thing is that you have to listen to your higher self. What seems insurmountable, and sometimes taking the unknown path leads to opportunities, but being where you are right now, being really present and stepping into your power and looking for the beauty. So he's standing there in the woods and maybe he doesn't know exactly which way to go, but look around. Look how beautiful that sunlight is pouring down through the trees. Where are you? What are you doing? Stop right now. Look around. What is the most beautiful part of whatever it is? Is it the light coming through the window? Is it a piece of scenery on the road because you're listening to me in the car as you're driving? What are you seeing? Where's the beauty? And the more that you can recognize the beauty in the now moments, the more contentment you will feel. And that will help you to chase away the dark thoughts. I will say, though, it's the dark night of the soul. It's unavoidable. I think most people, not everyone, but most people go through this dark night of the soul part. This part where we're running down a road and we're like, this is how it's going. And then you think you're doing all the right things. And then all of a sudden, you know, you slip and you fall and you go over the ledge and you're tumbling down into the dark ravine. And you're laying there going, what the heck happened? How did I get here? I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was paying attention. I was doing the things. I was minding the business. I was doing, and then everything just like fell out from underneath me. And I don't even know what happened. How can it be, if I'm doing everything right, that everything feels so wrong? And there's a lesson somewhere in there. And oftentimes the lesson is this. When you rely on situations, circumstances, like I'll be happy when I have enough money, I'll be happy when my house is perfect, I'll be happy when I have the perfect relationship, I'll be happy when, that's how you tumble into the dark ravine. Being happy in the now moment, when you realize, wait a minute, I'm down in this dark space. But if I look up, I can see the light filtering through the trees, and there's a rainbow. Look for the beauty. The future hasn't happened. You can't be happy in the future. You have to be happy in the now. Anything else? All right, we're going to go on. Okay, you have been struggling with some kind of a partnership. It says kindred partnership. This is in the area of mountains. So either you're struggling trying to get to a relationship that, and this could be business or it could be personal, but getting to a relationship that makes you feel giddy and happy and content. Or you're in a relationship that used to feel that way and it doesn't feel that way anymore. Maybe it's a project at work. Like, I really thought this was going to be amazing. I made a commitment to it. I thought there was going to be great achievement. When something's changed. This is the mountain. The mountain is either the relationship that is not what you thought it was going to be is the mountain, or the mountain's in the way to get to the relationship. Only you know the answer to that. And in the present, we have you here in stuck energy, which is probably why I felt the need to do. So, Taurus needs to be moving toward initiation. Being in stuck energy makes you feel helpless, makes you feel hopeless, makes you feel like everybody else is in control when you should be stepping into your own power. And how do you do that? You make a plan and then you actually take action on it. You devise this plan talking to your higher self. What feels right? What in your head, in your heart, not in your head so much. Oh gosh, it's like your heart and your gut. And yes, analysis from your head will come into play. Of course it will, you're Taurus. But the closer you get to what feels right in your heart of heart, in your gut of gut, then you'll be on the right track. And you won't be stuck here in a broken down vehicle that isn't going anywhere. But do you see the rainbow? Can't have a rainbow without a storm. The sacred temple is the outcome. The sacred temple is the part where you understand the worth and the value of you. When you find your way back to you and the authenticity of you and who you are. And the key to the situation is listen to your higher self. You are the sacred temple. And so these storm clouds that are gathering in your head, they're clearing in the outcome. So it almost feels like you're going to have to be creative to figure out your way through whatever the situation is. You're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to step into your power. And I can guarantee you're not going anywhere unless you get off the hood of that truck and start walking. He is stuck in the mud. I don't think you can pull yourself out of that. I think you're going to have to get off and start walking. Whatever vehicle you were moving in, whatever was pushing you along, whatever the flow was, there's going to be a need here. There's going to be a necessity to get off the truck and start walking. There's a boulder in the way. You might have to go into the trees. The trees are unknown. It's hard to chart your way through that. Maybe the transformation isn't that you need to plan everything out. Maybe the transformation is that you need to trust your intuition and your higher self to find your way forward. Maybe you've always been such a really great planner, and maybe right now you're in a situation where you're going to be moving into uncharted territory, not something you've seen before in this lifetime anyway. And so listen to your higher self and allowing that guidance to come through. We'll get you there. All right, let's get into this week. This week being the 18th of November through the 24th of November. We start out with some really tense energies on Monday and Tuesday. So the moon is now in Leo, and it is in a square with Mercury in Scorpio, with the sun in Scorpio. And so this tense energy will create tension in communication. Tension in what's being brought to light. The sun is going to be shining on things and bringing things to light. And it's going to create tension. Like information will be coming out. It might be misinformation, disinformation. Pay attention. Mercury's still in retrograde at this point. Are you getting the information that you need? That's kind of a thing to be keeping in mind. Okay, so it's going to be a little tense starting out the week. I do want to get a card here for some overall energy for the week. And then we'll pull a card for how to manage this energy of Monday and Tuesday. Okay. All right. Here we go. There's your boulder. This is the Three of Swords. There's a situation that is heartbreaking in some way or the other. Threes are about the catalyst, though. 3 is a catalyst. It is a change in a situation. So that something happens. So you stick salt in the boiling water, and into water, and it lowers the temperature at which the water will boil. So it doesn't change the property of the water. It just changes the situation, and the salt stays the same. Because if you were to boil all the water out, the salt would still be there. It didn't go anywhere. Okay, it's not going to evaporate out. It doesn't change. Okay, so that's a 3. So when you have 3 of Swords, this is thoughts that are a catalyst to change. Something's changing because of thoughts and information. Never noticed that before. Okay, that looks to me like a goose, but it could be an eagle. I really can't tell. So either Spirit is bringing in help and divine intervention. Look at the cat staring at the bird, too. I never noticed that either. Or it feels like when I saw what I thought was a goose, what I thought was how when the seasons change and it's time to migrate, it's time to move away from a situation. That's more what it feels like to me. Excuse me. So that came out and you showed up. Here you are, Knight of Pentacles. This is you doing your due diligence. This is you working hard this week. This is you paying attention to the details. Very important. Mercury's still in retrograde for part of the week. There's a change that's coming that's not easy. And so figuring out what are you going to do about that boulder and picking your path and moving your way forward, paying attention to details. Single-minded focus. Creating a plan and taking the action. There's 2 parts to this, right? Stepping into your power is about creating the plan and then taking the action. You can't just create the plan. It's going to require effort from you. There goes my throat again. And so I really think it feels like you're going to have to speak up at some point. So here's the thing. That moon in Leo, it creates opposition energy of where it is. It's difficult. And so that push and pull, that energy like that creates wisdom. Experience in life creates wisdom. Drawing on your wisdom for past experiences, but in this case, because you had the higher self card show up, I think drawing on your intuition and the innate wisdom. And here we go, the gratitude. Looking around, what are you grateful for? When you recognize the things that are good in the present and in the now moment, instead of the dark thoughts, when you increase the light thoughts by looking for the happiness and the joy where you see it. You know, under this card, I noticed this. Under this present power, you have the joyous card. And I really feel like when you step into your power, part of it is by you finding the joy. When you find the joy in the now moment, you are going to figure out, how it will raise your vibrational energy. It will allow you to get unstuck. It will allow you to move forward. It'll allow this, oh my gosh, that looks like the Wheel of Fortune, right? The Ferris wheel. It'll allow that wheel to start turning again in your favor, bringing squeals of joy and happiness. So your gratitude list becomes really important. And understanding that, okay, so you got here because you went down a path, and now there's a big boulder and it's blocking it. But there are no wrong choices. There's just choices, right? And so there was a lesson to be learned, and you learned something like this business idea didn't work, or this career move wasn't great, or this relationship really sucked because whatever it was, what did you learn? When you stop feeling like a victim, and Taurus doesn't usually stay in that mode too long, but if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I have no control, I'm a victim of whatever, if you allow yourself to reside in that mindset, you're missing the lesson. If you say, what did I learn? And what am I going to do about it? Then you step into your power. What did I learn? And what am I going to do about it? So you're showing up for yourself all over the place. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and now the Earth Dragon showed up. That is a Taurus. Clears your path. Oh my gosh. And the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. 8. The light keeps shifting. Be ready to serve. Oh, stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. Wow, I love it when Spirit does this. I love that so much. Oh, that was a weird flash of light. Did you see that? I have no idea what that was. Okay. There weren't any cars going by or anything. I have no idea what that was. All right. So, maybe you're feeling a little better, right? So, you're having divine guidance and help on this, right? But you need to take some action. You need to make a plan and you need to start moving things forward. But the Earth Dragon is here to help you to figure it out. And then Wednesday, let's all get up and do the happy dance because Mercury's going direct. And I'll tell you, the energy, part of the stuck energy that you're in is because Mercury has been slowing way the heck down. Before it changes directions, it gets grindingly slow. Holy cow. So communications get slower and sloggier. And so maybe your thoughts also have been slower and sloggier and trying to figure it out. And so then finally stations and goes direct it starts the station on Tuesday and goes direct, I think, on Wednesday. And so understand that at this point, it's a really good time to take a look at your finances. Reviewing your finances, assessing where you are, figuring out what's going on, exploring, what's really important, what's of value, what do you need to keep and what do you need to let go of. But also in this other situation that's evolving here too, what do you need and what do you need to let go of in order to change directions, in order to turn the 7th fleet around. But understand that you're being protected in this process. Spirit is guiding you and protecting you, and you do have the willpower to push through. There's a lot of resistant energy here, but you can do this. Thursday in particular has so much potential for production, to actually get something really productive done, because now Mercury is direct and the way the moon is set up, and the moon is going to move into Libra on Thursday night at 11:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But it says no two flowers are the same, yet all are beautiful in their own way. You have comparison. Again, Aries got this card, so it feels like this might be something that there's a lot of people comparing things back and forth about what's going on in their life. And again, if you have Aries strong in your chart, it says comparisons are odious because they presume all things are equal, which is never the case. Between you and me, the universe. Apples and oranges. Oh. Time to make a demonstration. It's time to make a change. It's time to do something. It's time to tell somebody that you care about them too, because it says the older the soul, the softer the glance, the quicker the smile, and the sooner to say I love you. They also skip and wink more than normal and hold hands with those they walk beside. Utterly fearless. If you want to make a change in your relationships, speak up. Maybe that throat thing that I have going on here, maybe it's because that isn't even the cards for those. It's interesting. Oh, I never pulled cards last time. Wow. Okay. We're just going to pull from both sides and we'll work our way through it. Holy cow. I'm telling you, I can't wait until Mercury goes direct. Phew. So we have unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you are complete access to unlimited ideas, guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. See, you are being protected. Your higher self knows. You are being guided. I don't even know. All right. So this was in the area of thoughts. That was for the month. In the area of what to do in your heart space. I don't even know. I feel like I didn't pull them for Aries either. I don't even know. Okay, so on Friday, the sun is going to move into Sagittarius at 9:59 a.m. Happy birthday to the Sagittariuses out there. If you are cross-watching, happy birthday to you. So there is a need to make a concession, to let something go, to release, to surrender what's not working, surrender to divine timing, to release, to let things go, to allow the flow. And you have help here from Archangel Gabriel. Call in the pure white light. Again, your higher self, the guidance coming to you. And we have the rainbow. Remember, there is a rainbow. Oh my gosh, there's a rainbow beyond the clouds. There is the rainbow that showed up in the other one too. There is a rainbow beyond the clouds. Can't have a rainbow without a storm, right? You can't. So a little guidance for the heart here. Since I'm doing everything all wrong, let's just go with it, right? Oh my gosh, honestly. Okay, all the glitters. All right, so in the area of heart chakra, I feel like there was something that, you thought was going to be amazing, but when you take the masks off, then you see the reality of the situation. Then not everything that looks all shiny and bright is necessarily that. So when you're trying to decide what to do, when you're trying to decide which way to go, when you're trying to make up your mind, then it becomes really important that you think about, what does your heart say? Because if you're looking at something and it looks all shiny and everything, what does your heart say? What does your heart really want? That will help you. On Friday, that's Friday and Saturday, wrapping up projects Saturday and Sunday, things that you started last month will be very beneficial at this time. It'll be probably things will flow a lot easier. And then that moon is going to move into Scorpio at 12:58 a.m. So basically 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. And there will be a situation that feels really out of control and you'll be like, I don't want anyone to know how I'm feeling. And there will be this wanting to suppress it down like a Scorpio because it's in Scorpio, right? And Scorpio doesn't like anyone to know. They don't want anyone to see what's going on beneath the surface. And you're going to be trying to do that, but perhaps instead of just trying to hide from your feelings or hide your feelings from the world, you seek a creative solution. Try to find something that brings you this sense of peace. Making a plan that you're going to take action on. Trying to find a creative solution. Oh, okay. So, you have synchronicity. Nice. Pay attention. Ready, set, go. Okay. So pay attention to the synchronicities that are coming into your life, the things that are happening, and get ready, right? We have ready, set, go. We have that action again. Then making an action and making a plan and taking an action. You also have open yourself to true abundance. The elephant. Taurus, you are the manifestor of abundance. That's your joy. That's your joy. It is your joy. But it's your goal. It's your superpower. Okay, so you're here to manifest and to show the rest of us how to manifest. But what is abundance? What is true abundance? Right? What is true abundance? What truly makes you feel safe and secure? Because that's all Taurus is trying to do, is create safety and security. And I think in their younger years, Tauruses tend to think that it's making money and having that big house and the flashy car and plenty of money in the bank and walking around with your biggest dollar denomination on the outside of all your ones that are wrapped up in a money clip, right? Is that truly abundant? Or is that just money? Because all money is energy. So what really would make you feel safe and secure? And you have to decide. I can't decide that for you. That is your thing to decide. But what is true abundance to you? What does it mean to you? Because many of the older Tauruses, after they've gone through that first Saturn return, which is around 30, and then it squares during your midlife crisis. Everybody that's been through that kind of remembers around 42 and 43 when you're like crisising. Is it then? Or is it like 39? Oh yeah, it's like 37, 38, 39 when you get into that square, and then you have the opposition around 50. And after 50, there's such a sense of freedom because now you're on the upswing. So, but that square energy there, like really what is abundance? And so I'm going to prove to everybody I'm abundant, and they go out and they buy the dream car or whatever, right? The motorcycle, got to have a Harley. Can't just have a scooter to get me around. Oh, I need a Harley that's tricked out, right? That's normal. But when you're starting to come up later toward that upswing past 50, you start looking at things a little differently, right? And then there's another square. Square's at 50. The opposition was at 39. No, I'm counting wrong here somehow. Saturn return, though, happens around 58. So yeah, it's a square at around 50. That's that final push through, that final energy of really fighting our way through it. And then we start moving forward. And when you get to that 58, 59, 60, then it becomes about, what did I learn? What is true abundance? What makes me feel safe and secure? If it's the Harley, great. If it's the big house, great. Maybe you already have that. Probably you do. But if you're still feeling this Three of Swords energy, then it tells me that something's not right. Friendships, circles. So many times in order to create abundance, we cut ourselves off from the social aspect of our life, our family, our friends. Maybe that needs a little time and attention. Maybe that's where you find the true abundance. Maybe spend more time with your kids. You know? All right. So for this month, you have amethyst. Amethyst for your gemstone. It says, I pay attention to my intuition and dreams. I easily interpret their messages. Your higher self wants to get in contact with you. So amethyst is this beautiful purple stone here. Easy to find. Get a piece of amethyst and stick it by your bed when you go to sleep at night with the intention of being able to get messages from your higher self in your dreams. You know, because when you're awake, you're probably working, right? So it'd be easier to get the messages at night as you're winding down. You know, when you wake up in the morning, what's your first thought? That's not about work. Write that down, okay? All right, Taurus, you take care. It looks like an interesting month. I'm really sorry about this energy of the Three of Swords for this week, but it feels necessary. It feels necessary to push you through, to get you to the next stage, the next level. So you can do this. You really can. And we'll talk to you next week. All right, we'll talk to you next month. Whenever. You take care.